New cars come with all kinds of bells and whistles these days, from heated seats all the way up to autonomous driving. But are they reliable? A new survey from Consumer Reports trying to answer that question today.
That shiny new car in your driveway could be a financial time bomb waiting to explode. Right now, thousands of Americans are making payments on vehicles designed to fail just after their warranties expire. Consumer Reports' shocking 2025 reliability study reveals cars so fundamentally flawed that repair bills are exceeding monthly payments, pushing owners toward financial ruin. We're not talking about minor inconveniences, we're talking about catastrophic failures requiring complete engine replacements, transmission rebuilds, and electrical system overhauls costing more than many families can afford. But here's what most car buyers don't realize. These failures aren't random bad luck. They're the result of deliberate engineering decisions, cost-cutting measures, and technologies rushed to market without proper testing. Internal documents from major manufacturers reveal something truly disturbing. Some companies are calculating exactly how long components need to last to avoid warranty claims, not how long they should last for customer satisfaction. And the worst part? The vehicles with the highest profit margins, luxury SUVs and premium sedans, often have the most catastrophic failure rates. Which vehicles have become financial death traps in 2025? What specific design flaws and engineering shortcuts are causing these bankrupting failures? And how can you protect yourself from becoming the next victim of the auto industry's most predatory practices? That's what we're exposing today. The consequences of owning one of these problem vehicles go far beyond inconvenience. With new car prices averaging $57,000 and loan terms stretching to 84 months, owners are finding themselves underwater on loans for vehicles they can no longer drive. Faced with repair bills exceeding $15,000 on cars worth less than the remaining loan balance, many are forced into impossible choices. Pay for repairs they can't afford, continue making payments on unusable vehicles, or default on loans and destroy their credit scores. For some families, these automotive money pits have become the first domino in a financial collapse that leads to bankruptcy. Let's expose the 20 worst offenders of 2025, categorized by manufacturer and failure type, so you can protect yourself from buying a vehicle that will drain your bank account. American Nightmares, Detroit's biggest failures. The Ford Explorer with the EcoBoost engine leads our list as perhaps the most financially devastating vehicle of 2025. What Ford markets as innovative, fuel-efficient technology has become a nightmare for owners experiencing catastrophic engine failures at just 60,000 miles. The primary issue involves the 2.3-liter turbocharged engine's direct injection system. Carbon buildup on intake valves is leading to misfires, loss of power, and eventually complete engine failure. Unlike earlier fuel injection systems that naturally cleaned intake valves with fuel spray, this direct injection system injects fuel directly into the combustion chamber, leaving intake valves vulnerable to carbon accumulation. What makes this particularly devastating is the repair cost. Cleaning the valves requires complete disassembly of the upper engine, costing between $3,000 and $4,000. In more severe cases where damage has progressed, complete engine replacement becomes necessary, a $12,000 repair on a vehicle that might be worth $20,000. Consumer Reports found that 62% of Explorer owners with the EcoBoost engine experienced significant problems by 75,000 miles. One owner in Chicago described watching his check engine light illuminate just 3 weeks after the warranty expired. The subsequent diagnosis revealed a $7,000 repair bill for a vehicle he had only owned for 3 years. Ford's response to this crisis has been particularly troubling. Internal documents revealed during a class action lawsuit showed engineers identified these issues during development, but were overruled by executives focused on meeting fuel economy targets. Despite thousands of similar failures, Ford has refused to extend warranties or offer assistance to affected owners, leaving them with devastating repair bills. General Motors isn't faring any better with their revolutionary active fuel management system. What was marketed as innovative fuel-saving technology has instead become an engine-destroying disaster. The system, found in millions of GM trucks and SUVs, including the Chevrolet Silverado, GMC Sierra, Suburban, Tahoe, and Yukon models, experiences lifter failures that cascade into catastrophic engine damage. The technical issue involves the lifters that control valve operation in the engine. The active fuel management system shuts down half the engine cylinders during light load conditions to save fuel. However, the lifters responsible for this cylinder deactivation are failing prematurely, causing misfires, loss of power, and metal debris circulation through the engine oil. The repair process isn't simple. It requires complete disassembly of the upper engine, replacement of multiple components, and in severe cases, complete engine replacement. Costs typically range from $4,000 to $8,000, often hitting just as vehicles exit warranty coverage. Multiple class action lawsuits allege GM knew about these defects, but continued selling affected vehicles anyway. Internal testing documents show engineers identified potential lifter failure issues, but executives pushed forward with production to meet corporate fuel economy targets. Meanwhile, Toyota Tundra owners from the same model years drive trouble-free, with many reporting 200,000-plus miles without major issues. The Jeep Wrangler and Gladiator models continue to suffer from the infamous death wobble, a terrifying front-end vibration at highway speeds that makes drivers feel they're about to lose control. Despite multiple attempts to address the issue, it persists across model years, creating both a safety concern and a massive depreciation problem. The technical cause involves the solid front axle design combined with relatively unsophisticated suspension geometry. When the vehicle hits a bump or irregularity at highway speeds, the steering components can oscillate violently, creating a dangerous feedback loop that feels like the vehicle is about to shake apart. What makes this financially devastating isn't just the repair costs, which typically exceed $2,000 for a complete front-end rebuild, but the impact on resale value. Vehicles known to experience this issue are selling for 15 to 20% less than comparable models without the problem, creating significant financial losses for owners. Stellantis, formerly Fiat Chrysler, has denied any design defect despite thousands of similar complaints. Internal documents revealed during litigation showed engineers recommended suspension redesigns that were rejected due to cost concerns. One Jeep owner in Texas described the experience as the most terrifying thing I've ever felt in a vehicle, like it was going to shake itself off the road at 70 miles per hour. Tech disasters. When innovation becomes expensive. The Tesla Model Y represents a cautionary tale about the financial risk of bleeding-edge technology. While Tesla's innovation has pushed the entire industry forward, Model Y owners are discovering that being early adopters comes with significant financial risk. The most financially devastating issue involves the heat pump system that Tesla introduced to improve cold weather range. Consumer Reports found that 38% of Model Y owners experienced heat pump failures within the first 3 years of ownership. In cold climates, these failures leave owners without cabin heat and significantly reduced battery range. What makes this particularly problematic is Tesla's service approach. Unlike traditional manufacturers with widespread dealer networks, Tesla's limited service centers mean owners often wait weeks for repairs. Replacement heat pump systems cost between $4,000 and $6,000 out of warranty, and many owners report multiple failures. The Model Y's other significant issue involves the complex electronics controlling nearly every vehicle function. Screen failures, computer malfunctions, and software glitches are leaving owners with vehicles that won't drive despite having fully charged batteries. With most functions controlled through the central touchscreen, these failures effectively disable the entire vehicle. Tesla's over-the-air update approach sometimes creates more problems than it solves. Owners report updates that reduce battery range, change vehicle behavior, or introduce new bugs that require service visits. Unlike traditional recalls where manufacturers bear the cost of repairs, Tesla owners often find themselves paying for issues introduced by the company's own software updates once the warranty expires. The Mercedes-Benz EQE electric sedan was supposed to represent the pinnacle of German engineering excellence in the electric era. Instead, it's become one of the most financially devastating luxury purchases of 2025. The primary issue involves the complex battery management system. Unlike Tesla's relatively straightforward approach to battery management, Mercedes implemented a highly sophisticated system designed to maximize range and battery life. However, this complexity has created a nightmare of reliability issues, with 32% of owners experiencing complete system failures within the first 2 years of ownership. When these systems fail, the repair isn't simple. The entire battery pack often requires replacement, a $22,000 repair on a vehicle that depreciates rapidly due to these known issues. One owner in Florida described watching his $87,000 EQE lose $52,000 in value over just 18 months due to these problems. Mercedes' service network has been overwhelmed by these issues, with some owners reporting 3-month waits for parts and service appointments. The company has extended warranties on some components but excluded others, creating a patchwork of coverage that leaves many owners with devastating repair bills. The Audi e-tron GT represents another luxury electric disaster. While beautiful and exhilarating to drive when working properly, these vehicles are experiencing catastrophic electrical system failures that leave owners stranded and facing repair bills that exceed $20,000. The primary issue involves the complex power electronics that manage the flow of electricity between the battery and motors. These components are failing at an alarming rate, with Consumer Reports finding that 28% of owners experienced major electrical system failures within the first 30,000 miles. What makes these failures particularly devastating is the proprietary nature of the components. Only Audi dealers can perform many of these repairs, and parts availability is severely limited. Owners report waiting up to 4 months for replacement parts while still making payments on vehicles they cannot drive. Audi's response has been particularly troubling. Internal documents revealed during European investigations showed engineers recommended more robust cooling systems for these components, but executives rejected the designs due to cost and production timeline concerns. Despite clear evidence of design defects, Audi has refused to extend warranties beyond the standard 4-year 50,000-mile coverage. Family vehicle failures, when reliability matters most. The Honda Odyssey has long been considered one of the most reliable family vehicles on the market. That reputation makes the catastrophic transmission failures in recent models particularly shocking and financially devastating for families who depend on these minivans. Consumer Reports found that 42% of Odyssey owners with the 9-speed automatic transmission experienced significant problems before 75,000 miles. The issues involve the transmission control module and valve body, which fail progressively, initially causing harsh shifts and hesitation before eventually failing completely. What makes this particularly devastating for families is the repair cost. Replacing the transmission typically costs between $6,000 and $8,000. For families who purchase these vehicles specifically for reliability, these unexpected repairs are creating financial hardships that ripple through household budgets. Honda's response has been equally troubling. Despite clear evidence of widespread failures, the company has limited its warranty extensions to specific components rather than addressing the fundamental design issues. Internal documents revealed engineers identified potential problems with this transmission design, but were overruled by executives focused on fuel economy improvements. The Toyota Sienna Hybrid, once considered the benchmark for family vehicle reliability, has developed serious battery and hybrid system issues that are financially devastating for owners who paid premium prices for what they thought was bulletproof transportation. The specific issue involves the hybrid battery cooling system, which is failing to properly regulate battery temperature. This leads to accelerated battery degradation and eventual complete system failure. Consumer Reports found that 34% of Sienna Hybrid owners experience significant hybrid system problems within the first 50,000 miles. What makes this particularly shocking is Toyota's traditionally stellar reliability record. Families who specifically chose Toyota for dependability are facing repair bills exceeding $12,000 for complete hybrid system replacement. One owner in Minnesota described watching their Czech hybrid system light illuminate just 2 weeks after their warranty expired, leading to an $11,000 repair bill. Toyota has implemented a limited warranty extension program, but it excludes many affected vehicles based on production date rather than addressing the fundamental design flaw. Internal documents suggest Toyota rushed this hybrid system to market without the extensive testing that characterized their earlier hybrid models. The Kia Telluride and Hyundai Palisade, siblings under their corporate structure, have developed catastrophic engine issues that are financially devastating for the families who flock to these value-oriented performance-oriented three-row SUVs. The specific issue involves the 3.8-liter V6 engine's oil consumption. These engines are consuming oil at alarming rates, sometimes a quart every 1,000 miles, without any visible leaks. This excessive consumption eventually leads to engine-bearing failure and complete engine seizure, often with no warning to the driver. What makes this particularly devastating is both the repair cost, a complete engine replacement exceeds $15,000, and the impact on family finances. These vehicles were marketed specifically to budget-conscious families seeking value, who now face repair bills that exceed 25% of the vehicle's value. Kia and Hyundai's response has been inconsistent at best. While they've extended warranties on some components, they've also implemented extremely restrictive qualification requirements for these programs. Owners must prove they performed oil level checks at specific intervals, documentation most owners don't maintain since these weren't identified as high-maintenance engines at purchase. The financial death spiral of modern vehicle ownership. What makes these failures truly devastating in 2025 is how they interact with modern automotive financing. With the average new car loan now exceeding 84 months, and these catastrophic failures typically occurring between years 3 and 5 of ownership, owners are facing a perfect financial storm. By the time these major components fail, most owners owe significantly more on their loans than the vehicles are worth, especially once the failure is disclosed to potential buyers. This creates a situation where owners cannot sell the vehicle to escape the problem, cannot afford the repairs, and cannot stop making payments without destroying their credit. The depreciation impact of these known issues is equally devastating. Vehicles identified in Consumer Reports' reliability study typically lose 15 to 25% more value than comparable models without these problems. This accelerated depreciation pushes owners deeper underwater on their loans, further limiting their options when failures occur. What's particularly troubling is how manufacturers are responding to these issues. Rather than implementing comprehensive recalls or warranty extensions, many are offering limited goodwill repairs on a case-by-case basis. This approach benefits only the most persistent and knowledgeable consumers while leaving most owners facing financial ruin. Service departments are equally complicit in this financial devastation, with the dealer service rates now averaging $175 per hour in major metropolitan areas. Even relatively minor repairs quickly become financially significant. Diagnostic fees alone often exceed $500 before any actual repair work begins. The truth about modern vehicle engineering. Here's what the automotive industry doesn't want you to understand. Many of these catastrophic failures aren't accidents or oversights. They're the predictable result of engineering decisions made with corporate profits, not owner interests, as the primary concern. Modern vehicles are increasingly designed to meet specific cost targets and production timelines rather than durability standards. Engineering teams are given impossible tasks: improve fuel economy, reduce emissions, add features, and cut production costs simultaneously. The inevitable result is compromise, usually in areas consumers can't easily evaluate during the purchase process, like long-term durability. Internal documents revealed during various class action lawsuits tell a disturbing story. Engineers frequently identify potential failure points during development, but executives override these concerns to meet launch deadlines or cost targets. The calculation is simple but devastating for consumers. Paying warranty claims on a percentage of vehicles is cheaper than redesigning problematic components for all production units. This approach creates a particularly insidious form of planned obsolescence. Vehicles aren't designed to fail immediately. That would trigger recalls and warranty claims. Instead, they're engineered to last just long enough to exceed warranty coverage before major components require expensive replacement. The automotive media is equally complicit in this deception. Publications dependent on manufacturer advertising rarely highlight these reliability issues in their reviews, focusing instead on performance, features, and initial quality impressions. By the time reliability data becomes available, these outlets have moved on to covering newer models. Consumer Reports stands virtually alone in tracking these long-term reliability issues through owner surveys rather than manufacturer-provided test vehicles. Their data reveals patterns that individual owners might dismiss as bad luck, but are actually widespread design defects affecting thousands of vehicles. Protecting yourself in 2025. How can you avoid becoming the next victim of these automotive money pits? The data points to several clear strategies. First, avoid being an early adopter of new technologies or first model year redesigns. Vehicles vehicles with brand new engines, transmissions, or major technology systems consistently show higher failure rates than those with proven components. Manufacturers are increasingly using paying customers as beta testers for new technologies, with catastrophic financial consequences for those early adopters. Second, research specific powertrain combinations, not just model names. Within the same model, different engine and transmission combinations can have dramatically different reliability profiles. Consumer Reports data consistently shows that base model powertrains with fewer complex systems typically experience fewer catastrophic failures than their higher output, more technology-laden counterparts. Third, understand that luxury brands no longer guarantee better reliability. Quite the opposite. Consumer Reports data shows that mainstream brands like Mazda, Toyota, and Honda consistently outperform luxury nameplates in long-term reliability. The additional technology and complexity in luxury vehicles create more potential failure points, not fewer. Finally, consider the financial implications of repair costs when budgeting for vehicle ownership. The days when most repairs cost a few $100s are long gone. Modern vehicles require specialized diagnostic equipment, proprietary parts, and highly trained technicians, creating repair bills that routinely exceed $5,000 for major components. The uncomfortable truth about modern cars. The uncomfortable reality is that the golden age of automotive reliability has passed. Vehicles from the 1990s and early 2000s routinely reach 200,000 miles with minimal major repairs. Their modern counterparts, despite advanced technologies and improved performance, often experience catastrophic failures before reaching 100,000 miles. This deterioration in reliability isn't universal. Certain manufacturers and specific models still prioritize durability, but the industry-wide trend toward complexity over reliability is unmistakable. Additional technology, features, and performance have come at the cost of long-term durability. What makes this particularly troubling is how these reliability issues interact with modern automotive financing. When vehicles with 84-month loans experience catastrophic failures at 50,000 miles, owners are left with impossible choices and financial hardships that extend far beyond transportation. The automotive industry has fundamentally changed its relationship with consumers. Vehicles are increasingly designed as technology products with planned replacement cycles rather than durable goods expected to provide a decade or more of reliable service. This shift benefits manufacturer profits but creates devastating financial consequences for consumers caught in this changing paradigm. Remember that shiny new car that could bankrupt you? Now you understand why the risk is real and growing. As vehicle technology continues to advance faster than reliability testing can validate, the financial dangers of modern vehicle ownership will only increase. Protecting yourself requires research, caution, and a clear-eyed understanding of the true cost of ownership beyond the monthly payment. Your next vehicle purchase could be the beginning of a financial nightmare or a smart transportation solution. The difference lies in understanding which models to avoid at all costs. Consumer Reports data provides a roadmap to navigate these dangerous waters, but ultimately the responsibility falls on you to protect your financial future from the automotive industry's most predatory practices. If you found this information valuable, hit that subscribe button and share this video with anyone considering a vehicle purchase. In our next video, we'll be covering the most reliable vehicles of 2025, the models that prove some manufacturers still build cars designed to last. Until then, remember that the most important feature in any vehicle isn't the touchscreen or horsepower, it's the ability to start reliably every morning without draining your bank account.